Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Right, so we're back again with another Alliance War video. I believe this is war number 8 at this point in season, 35 is it now? And it's New Nation against NXS. So NXS is obviously very tough alliance. At the time I was doing my fights, the war was incredibly close and anything could have happened. It was literally 2 deaths to 3 deaths, one side leading. So a very tricky war, and on top of all of that, I had to take on several opponents that I hadn't ever fought in Alliance War, and that I barely have had a chance to fight at all. That's exactly why this entire war is effectively going to be a CGR nuke fest with maximum amount of steroids I can provide for my CGR. We're going to be rainbow boosting, we're going to be obviously class boosting, we're going to be using 3-minute boosts, even if, you know, they turned out to be basically unnecessary. And then on top of all of that, we obviously have Magneto House of X pre-fight for some of the fights, and as well as all 3 Odin's pre-fights. This is kind of like CGR war to the max with, you know, everything we can throw at CGR. Don't have the most amount of fights, but as I said, several of these I hadn't done ever before, so that's quite interesting. In section 1, first fight that I have to do is the Scorpion over here, which is on spiked armor, that combat dodgeable prowess or whatever it is node. And obviously Scorpion does have that pesky Scorpion evade thing that I'm not 100% sure how it works. But I did do quite a lot of testing against, well, Scorpion with test fights, so to know that if I'm fast enough, I can finish this fight basically with the regular CGR cycle where that is not going to come into play. And as well, CGR's Damnation, because my CGR is awakened, will answer very well to the spiked armor node. So that's effectively the plan right here. So you can see that I'm going to start up with putting on some boosts. There's actually going to be a little bit of a tight timer watching and unfortunate reboosting because I'm going to be like short 1 energy towards the end of the war. But it's all good. So we're putting on rainbow boost. So it's a large champion boost, medium attack boost, and small health boost, just because I don't really have any health boosts. I hadn't noticed, but yeah, health boosts are the ones that seemingly are eluding me the most. Have plenty of 3-minute boosts everywhere. However, invulnerability boosts are definitely running the lowest now that we do not have the compensation anymore, and I'm using them plenty. So I'm just checking that I'm recording. I'm going to be applying Odin's pre-fights here already, not because I need them for this fight, but because they are going to be helping me for the rest of the fights, and I'll definitely rely on them to kind of speed up and ease up my fights with CGR. So here again is going to be the standard rotation. We're going to go CGR, heavy attack, finish a combo with light attack, sweet. We're going to then go in, finish combo with medium, puts us just enough at 2 bars of power. We're going to drop our level 2, and that was the fight over. As you can see, it's kind of like pretty much exact amount of damage, so very quick fight, very quick nuke. And that's a rank 3 CGR, but I genuinely have been using him so much that I really wish my CGR was at rank 4. My team started forcing me into using CGR like 3-4 seasons ago, and I was never overly kind of confident or comfortable playing CGR. And they have just kept giving me CGR fights more and more. To the point that I think at the moment, this season, definitely he's like my most used Alliance War champion, even surpassing Nimrod. Alright, so I had to apply pre-fight here for somebody else against this Mordo, which is fine and all. But my next fight here is on path 9 against this Hulkling over here. So Hulkling is another one of the newer champions that I haven't had too much of a chance to practice, so I did probably around 15-20 duels to figure this fight out, and the result of these duels was actually quite straightforward. If I'm quick, I can drop my level 2 before he gets his indestructible. The key of that is because if he has his indestructible active and I activate Damnation, he gets passive indestructible instead, and I still deal no damage. But I knew from my testing that if I'm quick enough, I can make it to my level 2, drop my level 2 before he gets his indestructible. Now, if he survives, that is where the problem is going to appear. Because if he does survive, virtually the next hit or next couple of hits after my special 2 trigger that indestructible. And then the key was to slow down. Now, I only have 5-star rank 3 Hulkling, so I was testing quite a lot my 3-star out without Liquid Courage Double Edge, just to kind of like make that fight longer and kind of be a bit more used to that fight. And that is kind of like the advice I can give to people who are fighting against Hulkling using CGR. You can drop your first level 2 when you're super fast, because the Indestructible is still not going to be active. But then you really need to kind of pause, take your breath, bait out the special attacks, take the drop in your damage, and then go for the next cycle immediately, basically, once it drops off. Afterwards, it's when it gets trickier. But in this case, obviously, we also need to deal with the one-eyed open lane and hazard shift. Hazard shift is why we're using Odin's pre-fights primarily here, because that allows me to attack whilst he has the shock phase active. And one-eyed open is effectively completely bypassed thanks to Magneto House Effects pre-fight, because it does not reflect damage if you passively stun the guy. So now we have Guidance Boost active, have all the Odin's pre-fights active, and here is the, again, the fight. This fight did kind of stress me out a bit, obviously, because with that Indestructible, and then if he gets it, I, use my Damnation, he gets the passive one, which is going to be very annoying. Now, later on, I realized I didn't even need to throw that heavy attack here. I should have went in just for a combo finisher with light and a medium, but it doesn't matter. So here I drop my level 2, and I immediately get pushed to level 3. And there you go, happy days. That's all that was to this stressful fight, because it really can be made quite stressful. But if you're super quick, then CGR does what CGR does. That's kind of the thing there. And now, next up, we're going to have to deal with Bishop yet again. This is like, God knows which Bishop I'm fighting over here. But this one's only rank 3. That's why I didn't feel the need for the 200% power boost, because I have taken several rank 3s and rank 4s on here. And if you do see a rank 4, then you do want 200% power boost pretty much immediately. And yeah, we're going to do, again, regular CGR rotation. Again, this time around, I do not need to wait out the lightning phase because of Odin's pre-fights. So I drop a heavy attack, a reparry, finish a combo with light. I'm going to finish a combo with medium, drop my level 2, and we are back nearly at 2 bars of power. So just bait out a heavy attack, and here was the critical mistake. I did not press a special attack. I was pressing, dashing it. This is game absolutely screwing me over at this point, because as soon as I launched that level 1, and I looked 37 prowess, getting incinerates, I knew I'm going to be taking a ton of damage immediately. So again, and I did not, so I baited out heavy attack. Here you can see, so I bait out heavy attack, and I try to dash it. So he throws his heavy attack, and I was dashing in and not throwing special attack. I knew that I needed to get at least one more hit in. Here I am throwing my level 1. At this point, I'm having a positive heart attack. But that level 1 hit quite hard because I still had the precision cruelty active, and he still had plenty of armor breaks. So he's only at like 9%, and I only ended up taking a couple of ticks of that 614 damage there from Bishop. Still ate away at my health, but 22k medium finished me out. I genuinely had a mini stroke here in this fight. And I've taken Bishop so many times here, but Bishop is just one of those champions. Right, and then I have the last fight against Super Skrull. The Super Skrull fight is quite interesting as well, because obviously Super Skrull A, he is a Mystic Dispersion defender. And B, it's Super Skrull, he's super annoying. It's also Hazard Shift, Rich Get Richer node. And this is where the Odin's pre-fights really come in handy. Because from the very first moment in the fight, I will be gaining extra power. So the plan here is to go in for a full combo, finish with medium in order to trigger my vigilance, so I don't have to deal with Mystic Dispersion once any of my buffs expire, namely the power gain. And then I immediately go for my level 2, and that puts me at 3 bars of power. This, again, is a very risky fight and a good placement. It's just when your CGR is this roided up, and you kind of know which order to go with your attacks, the fights end up in like 20 some 30 seconds. You can take a look at it again. So we're gonna go for the level 2, and you can see my power bar being filled up extremely quickly too. So here we go, finish with light, and then we Mystic Dispersion's active, but I still have Vigilance active. Drop my level 2, tons of damage, going for my level 3. That's it. Now again, when I finished my fights, the score was 3 deaths to 2 deaths, fairly similar in exploration. New Nation was winning. However, as we became closer to clearing the final map, we didn't die. And at that point, NXS kind of took it easier, and then they gave away like 6 additional deaths or something like that. So I think the final score was like 9 to 2. But the entire war was extremely close. So, you know, obviously well played to those guys. Our bile group got 2nd donut in a row. So we're finally kind of pulling our crap together. We have had the most disastrous start of the season that I can remember. We went 1 to 3 in the first 4 wars. So we lost 3 out of 4 wars at the beginning of the season. Seem to have been recovering at this point. I think we have managed to sneak in back in top 10 masters. Obviously, top 3 is pretty much out of the question. But if we salvage this season with a top 10 masters finish, you know, I'm going to be personally kind of quite happy with that. Obviously, it all depends with the matchups and everything else, how it ends. And as for this war, obviously, I still had 1 more free fight left in me that I later on applied to that MCOC. But that was it for my contribution to this war in general. And now we're about to start war number 9. And then we only have like 1 more week left for the season. And obviously, everybody's looking forward to that. But meanwhile, I hope you guys enjoyed the war. And if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to rank for a CGR quite soon. Either way, guys, catch you soon. See ya.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the